I want to bring in Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi, who is joining me now from Chicago. He is a Democrat, and he is a member of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. Congressman, thanks so much for being with us. As you listen to this interview, those hush money payments, the multiple investigations, just big picture, what does this all amount to for you?
Well, thanks for having me on. I think this is the first time that we've seen, a direct connection to a crime or felony indicated in sentencing memos or official court documents, and so that's very serious.
Very, very serious to you. What is, for you, if there is a red line in eventually the Mueller findings that might require Democrats to act on impeachment? We've heard a lot of Democrats being cautious to go to that level. But what would the red line be for you, even if Republicans remain supportive of the president?
Well, as you know, impeachment involves high crimes and misdemeanors. Obviously, a felony would count. I think that a lot of people like myself are right now just waiting for Special Counsel Mueller to do his complete job and just, find out exactly the extent of the wrongdoing, what are all the details behind them, and then assess what's the next step. Uppermost in people's mind right now, Brianna, is in the remaining 21 days or so, 3 weeks until the House Democrats take over. How do we make sure that the Mueller investigation continues unimpeded?
Congress has discretion. You talk about a felony rising to fit that definition of high crimes and misdemeanors. Congress, though, has the discretion. And I wonder, as you think about when these findings come out, depending on what they are going to be, is it on your mind that when Republicans impeached Bill Clinton and Democrats stood by him, that Republicans were unsuccessful and politically they paid for it? Is that something that is on your mind as you think about how you're going to make this decision?
I think definitely that will be a consideration. As you know, the Constitution, when it talks about impeachment, obviously refers to crimes, but there is a political element to it in the sense that did what the president do go against the fundamental character or values that America represents? And is there a consensus in America or in Congress about his conduct? I think that a lot of people probably know this already, but while an impeachment starts in the House, really the trial occurs in the Senate, and you need a 2/3 majority of the Senate to convict. And so I think that probably what also weighs on people's minds is the following. Even if the House voted to impeach a president, if he or she were then cleared in the Senate because you couldn't muster a 2/3 majority, how would that play out politically? Would that then mean that the president would be able to declare that he's been vindicated and become even more bold in his actions, or basically point to this as a reason why he should continue to do what he was doing that was the problem in the first place?
I want to ask you about this looming partial government shutdown scheduled to happen here in about a week. The president wants border wall funding. He says he will shut down the government if he doesn't get that funding. Do you think that this shutdown is inevitable at this point?
I don't think it's inevitable. Look, in your recent poll, 60% of Americans do not want a wall. They don't want a wall. I have not met a single House Republican who's on the border with Mexico who wants this wall either. I think that the president should accept reality and basically bend to the will of the American people and hash out a deal that allows for the government to continue to be funded and do what the American people want.
He's not doing that, though, right? I hear what you're saying. The poll did show, I think it was 57%. I have to double check that. But yes, you have about 6 in 10 Americans who don't want a wall. At the same time, the president is standing firm on this. So that said, where are we headed?
He might be standing firm on this, but obviously Senate Republicans and others can prevail upon him and basically get him to accept the reality, which I think that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer were trying to convey to him the other day, which is that not only do public opinion not favor a wall, but a lot of Republicans in Congress don't either. And they will ultimately pay the price in 2020 if a shutdown happens because of a wall. Not only will they, but I think the president would as well. And so these are political considerations that I hope that they bring to his attention sooner rather than later. We should hash out a deal, fund the government, and then go on to regular order or the business of what the people want in the next Congress.
All right, Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. Congressman Krishnamoorthi.